Welcome to another exciting episode of Izinto Zabelungu. I'm your host, Sandile Hlangani. Today, a gentleman that's stopping by to have a chat with us is a Soweto-born singer, songwriter, musician, music producer, and Summer Award winner. He's made his name in the music industry through the years and worked with the likes of Robbie Malinga and Brown Dash. Mujafela Jakes Tebe continues to mold young talent into the industry greats through his record label company. Thank you so much, Brown Jakes, for making time to stop by. Before we kickstart our conversation, let me just ask you this question. What is a music producer? In other words, what will be the role of the music producer?
A music producer is someone who oversees the process of a recording, who oversees the making of a project, the making of a song, let's say as such, who makes sure that the music is up to scratch, the artist is singing well, the song is well mixed, it's well mastered, and is able to deliver a product to the record company or the record label of something of high quality. That's your job as a music producer.
So having said that, what do you think makes a great song?
Every song is determined by the audience that you are pitching the song to. A good song to me may not be a good song to you, depending on who I am and what I'm catering for. Like, I can play you a country song now, and you can say, but that's not for me.
Definitely.
And then I can go to America, to Nashville, and I can come back there and say, I've sold 100 million copies of that very same song. So a good song is a song that caters to a particular audience, caters to a particular time, and has a reason for existence. Like, that's a good song. Like, if I want to make people cry, and I have a song that makes people cry, then that's a good song. If I want to make people dance, and I made a song that makes people dance, then that's a good song. I have a lot of proud moments as a producer. It's like, sometimes I feel like a father because I had an opportunity to work with now late Zahara, and from the start of a career from Lolewe. And for me, that was a legendary project. For me, that was one of the highlights of my career. But I also remember working on Nguwe by Ntando, like the conceptualizing, myself and Robbie Malinga, the late as well, working on that song, building it up with me, Robbie and Ntando, and bringing in a young man called Kama Matonsi to contribute as a bass player. You know, all of those processes for me have been highlights of my career, because it's not about just that one moment. It's about a build-up to a certain place. So I've had, those kind of moments. So it's difficult to say this is a legendary song for me. But for my career, Lole was one of the greatest highlights. Working with Zahara was very fun. As talented as she was, when it came to studio, there's no artist who listened like her, like as amazing as she was. Like, she was very funny, very, very fun. Same as late Robbie. Like, the studio sessions would be amazing, because it's very humorous. She would mimic and imitate anybody from Nelson Mandela to DJ Sbu to, because she knew how to do that. So, and the creative part would also be very intense, because we'd go straight deep into the creation, the making of a song, and we'd come out. It was amazing. The sad part with Zahara is that she passed at a time when we were still planning to get in studio and to work on new music. Probably we have one song. We have one song. In fact, we have two songs, but the other one is like a vocal guide. But there are other songs that I have done with her that are not released. Like there's a song that we did together, No Lebo M, the legendary Lebo M, Lion King. There's a song we did called Africa. It's also an amazing song. So I hope that people get to hear that song. There's a song that we did with a lady from Jamaica called Chevelle Franklin, which is also a beautiful, beautiful. I'm not outnumbered. I hope people get to hear that song. There's another song that we did with the Refilo, the Riffy sings, that also was not out. And she did a few other songs with other people. So those are the songs that people will get to hear her featuring on other songs. There's a song that we did. It's exciting. It's a beautiful song. In fact, in that song, she thanks the fans for being there for her.
Wow.
It's like she knew that she's about to go.
That's interesting.
And she was like, Umuntu akalahlwa. Like she says stuff like that. And the first line on that song that she says is that uthi zininzi izinto ezibulala umuntu.
Sure.
Meaning there are many things that kill a person. And he says kuqala engqondweni, it starts fika enhlizweni, then the body goes. And I never picked it up, and I didn't even ask uthi why those lines. Up until she passed, and I was like, there's this song, and then I played it, and I'm like, how?
Then you got the answer.
And I was like, no, but Zahara knew. But she was well that time when he did that song. She spent a few years saying to people, I'm here to heal. I'm here to heal. And that's what her music was about, healing people, telling a story. Like, if she's not saying I'm here to heal, she said I'm telling my story. Sometimes I would sit with Zahara and like, hey Zahara, mele sihlale phansi man. Sixoxe mhlambe azange abuse mawumncini. All of those. It's like soze, nothing like that. Because she was one person who would express pain. And people, we don't want to deal with our pain.
Yeah.
But she would go straight to it. And I want people to remember that her music should live on in us. It's there to heal. It's there to tell our stories, black people. I have not gotten a chance to honor her the way I'd want her to be honored. I think we're still also trying to heal first. It must be out of celebration, not out of pain.
Yes.
For as long as we're still in pain, it won't be a fair judgment, because we'll be doing it from pain. It must be at a time when we're healed, and then look at it and reflect. A time when you will properly reflect on her role in our lives, and what role she played, and what would we like to express about her. Then we can do a proper honor of her legacy and who she was.
Are you able to just share with us some of the problems that South African musicians, or rather artists, face today?
The state of the industry can be very confusing to somebody who's been part of the industry for a long time, because the state of the industry is in a place where those who thought they had control don't have as much control. Like, it's not like before where majors knew that this is we're running this thing. We're making decisions, we're opening doors, we're closing doors. But now the industry is in a place where anyone can be a star, and there's no one who can stop them. Anyone who has a TikTok account
Definitely.
can create a hit and make it big. Anyone who has access to a microphone, a computer, can make a hit. Because before, remember, 30 years ago, when we came into the industry, you could never record any song in your own house.
Definitely.
You needed funds to go to a studio, and a proper studio, a music desk, a proper desk, a proper mic. And only 20 years ago, maybe around the year 2000 or so, after having worked in a studio for many years, I realized that, no man, I don't need all of these things. I can do a recording in my own place. Then I started, me and Robbie moved from working in a bigger studio and worked in my place where I lived.
Yeah.
And I realized that I didn't need a 32 channel desk. I realized I could mix from inside the DAW I was using.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that, there are plugins. I don't need a 65,000 keyboard. There are all these plugins. I just need a controller.
Yeah.
And it became even worse for the young people when now FL became big, because they didn't even need a keyboard, because they could press the buttons on the keys of the very laptop or whatever they were using. They could find the notes.
Yeah.
So the state where it is now, I can bet you those who've been there are trying to find a place, are trying to find, reshape and replace themselves in the industry, because now it's about your numbers as a person, as opposed to somebody making you big.
Yeah.
It's no longer about only the money that somebody can put in. Yes, you need the money for music videos, whatever, but it's about building a brand that people can trust. And once that happens, then you have a career.
I just want us to just shift the focus and talk about the struggles that artists face. I'm raising that because I'm reading my WhatsApp messages here. There's a message that just came. This guy is asking, why are artists struggling? But maybe you can take that question with this one, because yesterday when I was doing my research, I came across the article that was written by Forbes, Africa Magazine article titled, If I Die, Blame Me. That's Penny Penny. So he was interviewed by Forbes magazine. In the article, he says, there are so many artists that are being buried by government, but it's not obliged to bury us. If I die, that is him, I would be to blame for not saving. Do you want to weigh in?
I'll be a little controversial. Okay. A stupid response first would be, saving what? Remember, when you're an artist, you are in a poorer state, right? You know, when you're trying to catch up in life, you are trying to get to a normal place of living. Before we come to super success and flossing, whatever, you are trying to get to a place where you are normal, right? The cost of just getting to that place where you're normal, where you move from emkhukhwini la bohlala khona lapho, you are trying to find a better place where now you're comfortable.
Yeah.
It takes probably half your resources of your success to try and buy ukuthi nami guys ngine Air Force angakakhulumi ngama Gucci, like, okay, nami ngine Air Force like abanye abantwana.
Yeah.
We talk about saving. Yes, there's a level of extravagance that comes with, but that comes with the foolishness that comes with the industry, because the foolishness of the industry says Jakes manch.
Yeah, definitely.
And now everyone looks at you as Jakes. Jakes, Reki. You go to a club, you go where, okay, you are the star, you pay the bills. And now to try and be that person around, starting, before we even talk about, I blow it, you are trying to be normal, you are trying to now you're trying to meet the expectations of everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody is trying to say, hey Baba, even those who you went to school with, when they see you, mfana awenze mane, and now the pressure of trying to measure up to what your name is in the industry is what takes you down.
Sure.
Because you spend so much energy trying to measure up, trying to show that no, I'm not that guy, I'm not that poor guy, I'm not that. So before people start thinking of saving, then they realize that no, they don't have money anymore, because they've never even come to a place where now they have a chance to save, because they spent so much energy, the resources of trying to catch up, of trying to be somebody, of trying to by the time they find themselves, the heat is behind them. And now they need another hit. Now they spend so much energy of trying to catch up with who they are supposed to be, and it never comes again. That's why government end up like being there. That time you're not thinking, am I covered? Do I have an insurance? Do I have a policy? And worse, sometimes 80% of the time you are not surrounded by the kind of people who say, bona mtwami, as let's get a policy. Definitely. That time they want you to buy the champagne.
So Sisekle article, thank you for that response. Sisekle article, Lena, so he goes to say, and I quote, anybody who wants to be a star has to learn to make money and save it. Young musicians go for girls, parties, I know, expensive cars, but don't owe a home.
That's a serious truth. But another challenge is that I think because saying Dala and being a dull person, it has given me a view of so many things from life in itself. Can be very unfair, right? You are expected to. You buy a house, a bond. You are expected to pay that bond for 20 years of your life. Now, what guarantees you that you will have that kind of money for 20 years, every single month of your life,
as an artist,
and keep that house for all that time? Like after your hit, which was 5 years ago, you still have 15 years ahead of you to try and work hard and keep that house. So I think we need advisors who'll say, okay, fine, since you may not be able to pay a bond all your life or 20 years of your career, what solutions do you have? Okay, you are making this kind of money. Okay, let's see if you can buy land cash. Can you afford to buy land cash? Okay, maybe you can. Okay, you don't have to go to the highest level of, let's see what you can afford, buy land. Okay, now, okay, can you buy bricks? Let's buy bricks. What kind of a house can you build? Ultimately, when your career is not thriving anymore, you have a home, you have a roof over your head. Now, even those who become successful, even those who buy, I've advised so many artists to buy a house. Zahara bought a house. Ntando bought a house. Nice. So many of the artists bought houses. But the challenges that come with keeping that house are bigger than buying the house. Right? An artist will have a million rents. They'll buy a 4 million house or 2.5 or 3.5 million house. Put the million in there. The rest of the time they need to pay a bond. But they still don't have the guarantee that my gigs, whatever my career, can carry me through paying the bond. As much as I've even put up that million as a deposit to. And those are realities we don't discuss. We don't talk about those things. There are those who have tried. Penny is a wise man. He had land, he found land, and he built his house there. And he doesn't have to worry all his life about having a roof over his head, right? but we don't all make those wise decisions, right? We can celebrate somebody saying, hey, ubani uthengi indlu, oh wow, the bank has given them a house because they can afford, right? But can their career sustain them for 20 years to finish that bond? And then later on we say, hey, so-and-so is losing their house, so-and-so is on whatever asking for help, they're about to lose their house, can we help? We can't help that one was arrogant. Like, those are the challenges we see with how many of our artists in this country, how many of them, like, and there are more that's still coming. It's a recurring, you know what I'm saying? I think as an artist, we need to find a model or get advice to find a model that will work and say, okay, we have wise people like Oprah Hot Sticks, right? Who have a home, who still have a beautiful house, but who managed to maximize the period when they were doing well and found a way and say, okay, fine, this is the kind of house I'll buy. Okay, I don't owe the house. I don't need to worry about paying a bond for the next 20 years of my life. I own this house. I just need to maintain it and make it, you know, and I'm happy with this. I'm comfortable here. I've got 2 cars. My family is happy. This one, I've got a beautiful car that I'll keep on fixing. I don't mind.
Or just before we carry on, he goes to say, media can build and break our careers. Newspapers will put you on the front page and say you did this and that, whereas it's all lies. Even today, I'm surrounded by lots of propaganda, lies, manga business.
The role of a media is very important, because the media is there to build, right? But remember, the same media that built you is the same media that can pull you down. So, but there are those who can intentionally build you to destroy you. Like, for them to speak about somebody, they must have built a name. A name must have been built, right? So somebody must build a name. If they're going to say Mjake Stebe, people will be like, who's Mjake Stebe? Why is he worth talking about? Therefore, the media must build Mjake Stebe, so that when they say Mjake Stebe, they can say, okay, which one is that? Okay, this is the Mjake Stebe we've built. And that's the very same person that they have power to destroy, because they make a person newsworthy, right? But remember what the media's duty is. Any person who's a journalist, they're not thinking, Guti, I'm here to build a nation. No. I'm here to make stories that are newsworthy. I'm building my careers. There must be my name attached to all these big breaks. There must be my name attached to all these big stories. I must be the first man on the ball, on the story. You understand? I must be the first to speak to this person. I must be the first person to break this person. So all of those things, they happen to build the media, to sell numbers, right? So when as an artist, you must know how to use the media for yourself. You must know how to manipulate the media to build your own careers. But at the same time, you must make sure that you don't feed them with so much that you don't have room to breathe. So I think we give away way too much. Hence, the media has so much power over our lives and now the very same person looking at poster, then they can come back, because himi ngaskipha le story, they'll come back with Leandro bongasiye yakhe. Le iposto ubani Leandro, iposto yimi new reborn. Oh wow, they're like, bo. No. But I rent. We need to learn how to understand what media is for as artists, and how to use it for our benefit, and to know that, okay, this I'll open the door for this, because this, if I open the door to this, it can come back to bite me. And most of the things that happen in the media are the very same things that we open doors for. Like, it's not information. We open those doors. We introduce the media to that life, to our. You are the one who was at the party, at the club. You are the one posting. Exactly. Like, this is, and they're like, okay, oh, you okay, party person. Hey, so and so had a celebration, 25 years. Oh wow. Next, the very same media is the one who come back and say, hey, yeah, nyambona lo mtu loya, vega celebrate naye. Sebamthathile manje ukhichimana nobody who's new in the game. So we just need to know how to use the media for our benefit. You know, we are all born with talents. We are all born with something to give to the world. And you cannot allow the world to not to pull you back so much that you can't give what you are meant here to give. If I was born and God deposited a voice in me, that voice is what's supposed to feed me. It's supposed to support, what's supposed to take care of my family. It's what's supposed to, that the voice is what carries my greatness. Everyone carries a particular greatness in them. It's not the same greatness. So you can't allow your greatness to be diminished or your light to be diminished by the fact that this always happens, this happens to, and sometimes obviously our families will say, I don't want my child to be this, I don't want my child to be that, because they're musicians, they die like paupers, like me, as much as the 5 people that celebrate my name, Jakes, you've done such great work. When I started, my family was nervous. They're like, hey, are you sure you're doing well in school? You want to be a doctor? Why are you leaving this for this? But what God deposited in me had to be, maybe I would have made an awful doctor. Maybe they would have been, but I am like Zahara. I became the doctor to the soul, to the healing of people also. I pursued what I felt that this is, when I wake up in the morning, this is what I want to do. This is what I can do even if I wasn't getting paid for it. This is the one thing I would wake up and do, whether I got money or I didn't get money. But I would wake up and write a song. I would wake up and make music. I would wake up now, like since the loss of Zahara, I went through a few days where I was like, when you kind of lose the passion for music because you're like, but these are the people I enjoyed making music with. I enjoyed making music with Robbie. Now he's gone. I don't have this person to share, even when we're disagreeing. We disagree still in music. I'd be like, I'm gonna make a better song than that. You know what I'm saying? Those challenges are what was making us follow. But the fact that I see talent and new talent, I still wake up and say, this person deserves a break, and this person needs me. Is the one person that deserves, because I see the spark that I saw when I saw Zahara, when I saw Entando, when I saw Naima K, when I saw Zandi Kumalo, when I saw these people, all of these, I see that spark, and I can see stardom in this person. So in me, I can't wake up and say, I will not wake up. I will wake up because this person is there. They need what God has put in me. So if God has put something in you, get up and pursue it.
Definitely.
Do your best to make sure that the world gets to hear it. If it's not the world, the 10 people in your community, one of them will be like, Lahamba came back with good news. They can say, hey, you know what? I know this person. I know P. Diddy. He can plug you. I know Jakes. I know whoever. Somebody can come with good news to you and say, hey, Lalela, I've given you, I've sent your WhatsApp, that song you sent me, I've sent it to somebody who can help you become, yeah.
From Jakes, Thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate your time. That's about it.